Welcome back to Coffee Time. Get you another cup of coffee and enjoy the rest of the program day. Wild County Extension System with Mr. Danny Cain is with us every Thursday morning. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. It's great to be here this morning.
Glad to have you in here.
Oh, good.
You got a jacket on. It must be a little bit cool.
Yeah, well, you're just getting ready for this weather roller coaster that.
Yeah, it's going to get back down a little bit on us this weekend, next Monday and Tuesday.
I tell you, we're all the way from mid-70s to mid-20s.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
but that's North Alabama weather.
You just don't find it anywhere else
West
besides
Alabama
here.
weather. Extension office stays busy. You got 4-H with Chick Chain going on. You got something all the time.
We've been very, very busy, and of course that's the way we
that's the way you like it.
And but just this week we did our what we call it our kickoff for our forestry and wildlife judging teams through 4-H.
Oh, good.
We had the folks from the Alabama 4-H Science School came up, and we actually did a live animal program. They brought their raptor birds,
that's nice.
Hawks and owls, and some reptiles.
The kids get to relate to that.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, that's a good program.
They learned about gopher tortoises, which is unfortunately, gopher tortoise, which is more found South Alabama in those coastal plains, sandy kind of soils. Were at one time endangered. So through conservation efforts and other things, they've actually upgraded to a threatened species, which is still, it's not good, but it's better than what they once were. So we learned about gopher tortoise, and we learned. They brought a couple snakes that we got to take a look at, some rat snakes and those kind of things. So I had a great program. We had about parents and everybody. We had a little over 40 people that attended, and so those kids will be our forestry and wildlife judges for the upcoming year. Always excited about that.
You've told us before, great success with that team.
We have, and I was counting it up, and I told the kids this is really not the important thing, but with our with our wildlife team. I first started that program about 30. It's been 30 years ago now.
Wow.
So over the course of time, we have placed either first, second, or third in junior, senior division 35 times.
That's the state and national.
That's state, and then the senior team. If you win the state, you're going to national.
Yeah.
This past year, our team went to national. We competed up in Crossville, Tennessee. And they finished fourth in the entire nation up there. Just extremely well.
You know what's amazing to me? That a 10-year-old knows 820 trees.
Yeah, and by the way, our junior forestry team has won the state competition now. It's 2 years in a row that they have won.
That means that senior team going to be pretty good.
They've done quite well, and but it's like I tell the kids, that's not the important thing. I want to see my young people involved in these programs, learning about natural resources, whether it's trees and how to manage forests and those type ecosystems, or whether it's learning about the wildlife animals or wildlife habitat.
Now they can look at the habitat. They can look at an area. Okay, these animals live here. This is what they got to eat here. These trees are located here.
And these are the practices that we can do to improve the habitat for the. By the time our 4-H kids go through our junior senior program in the wildlife program, they could go to any land grant college in the entire country and take a freshman survey course in wildlife biology, and they would do extremely well.
That's great
because we cover the exact.
What age groups are they?
Yeah, the juniors are 9 to 13.
Okay.
And the seniors are 14 and above.
Okay.
And but looking forward to that. I just love working with that group of kids, and we have a lot of fun. And that's another aspect about it is that we also have fun along. We work hard, we study hard, we prep hard, but we also have a lot of fun, and it's a great group. We want to
remind everybody that the homeschoolers are welcome.
Fact is, the biggest part of both of my teams this year, forestry and wildlife, are homeschool groups, and so they are certainly more than welcome, and we work extremely well with our homeschool groups, and and we also have some public school kids that are participating this year, and so it's just a good mix.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
You got some young first starters, some 9, 10-year-olds. We got some older kids. got homeschoolers, got public school kids. So it's just a good mix of kids. I'm really looking forward to this year. Hopefully, by the time state contest rolls around, and for wildlife, that'll be the end of May. For forestry, it'll be the end of June. So hopefully, we'll have some good things to report. Then when that time gets here.
Good deal.
We, Brian Brown at the office, he's our horticulture agent who works multiple counties, but he's housed in our office. Just earlier this week, we did our pruning workshop. Learned how to prune all of those landscape plants from, crepe myrtles and hollies and azaleas and all those kinds of landscape plants, and had a good turnout for that. And Brian did an extremely good job with that program. Got a couple of things up and coming that we're doing registration for now. It's a 2-day program for a certification, what we call Serve Safe, and this is the certification that our food handlers, everybody in the food service industry, now has to have the the Serve Safe certification. And so our dates is going to be. People always ask me, when are you going to have that closer to where I don't have to get out and drive and go play, to attend the class. We're doing one right in the Walker County office, and that will be, the first day is March the 11th. The second day is March the 16th. And you do have to complete both days to get certified. And April Hill or Susan Hill over in the Winston County office is the one that actually does the training for us. So, any questions about that or how to get registered or whether or not I actually have to have the Serve Safe class, you can get in touch with Susan either through our office or you can call the Winston County
Now that
office.
includes cooks all the way to waitress.
That's exactly right. Anybody in the food service industry. You need to at least have that on the radar screen that somebody in your establishment has to be Serve Safe trained. So, Susan can fill you in on more specifics about that. But those 2 dates again, March the 11th and March the 16th. And at the end of the 16th, there'll be a certification. They have to take an exam and pass it, and so then you become Serve Safe certified. And we've all seen them when we go to the restaurants and stuff. They keep them, they'll frame them and put them by the cash registers and stuff because, food safety is extremely important, and so they're proud of that. And we look for restaurants and things that have that Serve Safe certification. So anyway, that's on March the 11th, March the 16th. We also on the afternoon of March the 16th, starting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Susan is also going to do a certification class on cottage food law. Now, cottage food law is a little bit different. Cottage food law is geared towards more entrepreneurial enterprises. In other words, if you are fixing, breads or cookies or baked goods and those kind of things, salsas and things like that.
Wow.
And are planning on selling those from out of your house, what we would call a cottage food enterprise.
Got you.
Then you must have
maybe
that.
A bed and breakfast type.
Could be. Bed and breakfast would probably fall more on Serve Safe.
Okay.
But cottage food law would be, we have a lot of people like at the farmer's market that sell baked goods and things like that. Those would have to pass the cottage food law certification. So anyway, that will be on March the 16th, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, if you have questions, whether that pertains to me, whether I need that certification for whatever, whatever enterprise that I'm doing, then you can talk with Susan Hill about that, either in the Winston office or if you'll contact us in the Walker County office, we will be glad to get you in touch with Susan. So those are two really good kind of food-related trainings that are up and coming, and we get lots and lots and lots of questions about those. So there's a great opportunity to get both of those. Fact is, you can get both certifications, and you only have to be there on the 2 days. So
that's good.
So you can take advantage of that, and we'll be glad to answer questions about that if you have any questions. 4-H summer camp, still getting calls about 4-H summer camp. Young people that are involved in 4-H, either in-school group or your homeschool groups, or special interest clubs, whatever. We have, I think at last count, I think we still have 4 camp slots open. And so if you are interested in your young person, your 4-H, or attending 4-H summer camp, and that'll be later on this June, then, keep in mind, we do need to hear from you right away.
Yes, sir.
Because those will fill up very quickly. Now, we only get so many slots for summer camp, and those are assigned by the 4-H center, so we don't have a whole lot of control over that. But once we do get those filled, we will also we will have a wait list if somebody were to drop out or couldn't follow through and actually go to camp, that we can offer that slot to somebody else. That don't always happen, but but we do keep a list just in case. So, but if you want to ensure your summer camp slot for 4-H, we do need to hear from you, because those 3 or 4 slots will fill up in a real hurry.
Where is the camp?
They have that at our state 4-H centers down in Columbiana,
Alabama,
which is down in Shelby County, and sits right on Lay Lake.
Nice.
Beautiful property down there, and it's a wonderful camp experience. I've been there. I used to call it my home away from home. So it seems like I was down there so often, but.
4-H camp has changed just a little bit since you and I went to 4-H camp.
It has, and I can remember growing up, before the Shelby County camp was even developed, and so that's
they have great activities. I'm telling you,
it's amazing all the stuff that they do down there, and it's very well organized, very well run, and your young person will have a great time at summer camp. I can assure you. Also, we're taking registrations on our 4-H chick chain. With this project, each of the 4-Hers get, this year they're going to be receiving 12 pullets of 4-H of 3 different breeds. The cost for the registration fee for that is $75, and that includes all your chicks, the instruction, and part of that money also goes when we do our show at the end of the project year. We give awards, cash prize awards, as well as plaques and trophies and ribbons and things like that. So it's a great project. I won't go into a whole lot of detail on it in the limited time that we have, but we do have several slots still open for this year's chick chain. So if you're interested in that, get in touch with us. Ask all. We'll be glad to talk with you about the project. What all it involves and what's the requirements and those kind of things. But generally, the kids will receive their chicks usually about mid-May, and they will raise those chicks out to our show and auction is usually about the 2nd week of October. In conjunction with the festival they have down there at the city of Cordova, the Indian Head Festival, and and between then, we'll work. We make home visits to make sure the project's going well, and and I'll keep on track of the projects and that kind of thing. But we will help you out. If you don't have to have experience raising chickens to do the project, is what I'm saying. We'll help you.
But it does teach a little responsibility.
It does. It's a great
feeding,
project.
to watering, to housing, to shots. To
I know. My son Carson did the project when he was younger, and we still have some of those birds that they're laying eggs, and we very much enjoyed it. In fact, as he comes back, and helps us out on our pickup day, helps us out with the show and things like that. He's really enjoyed it. So anyway, a lot of things up and coming, a lot of activities and programs and things. So any question about any of that, you can get in touch with us at the Extension office. And, a lot of other things going on too, yard and garden wise. And we got just a few minutes left. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I always get questions about this time of the year is, and we'll start to get those more and more as we start to warm up a little bit, is weed control. How do you control those pesky weeds? And, of course, every situation is different, whether you're talking about a home lawn or a garden or a flower bed or even pastures and hay fields, so everything is a little bit different, and it depends on what the site is and what weeds you're trying to control. But very, very generally, particularly as it pertains to our home lawns and gardens, those type areas. Our weed control products come, and this is where we get a lot of confusion. So we'll straighten up a little bit of confusion this morning, and hopefully that will be of help. And if you need more assistance in that, you can give us a call. But our weed control products, our herbicides, which are pesticides that are designed to control weeds, come in two general categories. Okay, and this is important because this is what causes us a lot of confusion. They come as pre-emergent products and post-emergent products. Okay, your pre-emergent products, just as the name sounds like, pre-emergent. Okay, those products have to go down or be applied before the weed germinates and comes up. Okay.
Gotcha.
In other words, it prevents that weed from coming up. Okay. So for this time of the year is a great time to pre-emerge for summer annual weeds. Those summer weeds that have not come up yet, primarily crabgrass. Okay. And there are others as well, but crabgrass is the one we generally put a pre-emergent product down, usually in late February up to about the 1st of March to prevent that crabgrass and other summer weeds from coming up. There's a whole host of winter annual weeds those are the ones that we're seeing right now. Bittercress is coming up in massive numbers right now. I've got it all over my yard. Henbit, which will be coming up and blooming here, it's already emerged, but it will be blooming here. That's the one in March and April where we get all the calls. What's this pink blooming thing or purple blooming thing out in my yard? Okay, it's henbit and purple dead nettle. They're very closely related type weeds. They're winter weeds. Our chickweed is another one that we get a lot of call. Those you put a pre-emerge down. Remember, pre-emerge before the weeds come up. So you would put a product down in September, October in the fall to prevent those winter weeds from coming up. Okay. So we generally pre-emerge 2 times a year. About this time in the late winter, early spring, whatever you call this time of the year, and again in the fall to prevent the winter weeds from coming up. Okay. There are certain products, be careful with your pre-emerge products because they are not all designed, for example, even with our turf grasses, not all pre-emergent products are designed to be put on centipede grass. Not all of them on Bermuda grass or whatever your turf grass is. So be sure that you read and check those labels and put that pre-emergent product out that is designed for where you are putting it. And that is especially true for gardens, for your vegetable crops and flower beds as well. There are pre-emerged products that you can use in both flower beds and home gardens, but they may not be the same products as you would put in your home lawn. Okay, so make sure that you read those labels. The other category of herbicide products is called our post-emergent products. And again, just like the name indicates, post-emergence, that means after the weed comes up. So if those are probably more familiar to us than the pre-emerged product. Those are the things like your 2,4-D. Trimec and things like that I recommend a lot of. Even your glyphosates are post-emergent products. Sethoxidime, which is sold as post and Vantage, it kills grass out of certain plants and not the broadleaves. Okay, so those are designed to be applied after the weed comes up. And the reason why it's important to distinguish the two, if you put a pre-emergent product out and spend all the money and the time to put it out when the weeds have already come up, it won't do any good. It won't control those weeds. It won't do what we want it to do. The same is true. A post-emergent product won't keep those weeds from coming up. They only kill those weeds after they come up. Okay, so you got pre-emerge and post-emerge, and both are a key part of kind of what I call a year-round weed control program. And so that's a few basics, and I didn't want to get into a lot of detail really, but wanted to clarify that because that does cause people a lot of confusion. You have to know if your product is a pre-emergent or a post-emergent, and once you do, you got to figure out which product goes best with what I'm applying it on. Okay, And any question about that, you know, you can call the extension office. Our number is 205-221-3392. You can talk with me, or Brian Brown, our horticulture agent, is there as well, and he's well versed on all the herbicide products and when and how to use them. You can talk to either one of us. We'll be glad to help you out with that.
Give them a call, 221-3392.
You can also reach us on that big old World Wide Web, www.aces, that's ACES.edu. And Robert, I will say this, we've never actually said this before. People always ask, what does ACES stand for, ACES?
Yes.
We always say that it's Alabama Cooperative Extension System,
right.
ACES.
ACES.
So that's where we get that from. But you can
Danny,
reach us.
thanks a lot coming in today.
Appreciate you having us. Thank you.
We're going to take a break. Don't leave us. We'll be right back with more Coffee Time.